Good morning. Good morning, everybody. If you haven't already done so, make sure you go. Let's see. Yeah, if you haven't already done so, make sure you go check out the last game. That was probably the most epic game I've ever played. Ugh. All right, all right, all right. I can hop into this for you. Greetings, my friend the frog. Not bad. So I don't normally say this, but if you get time, check out my last game. That was probably the most epic game of MLB The Show I've ever played. That was a sweaty one, as the young people say. How are you? Hanging and banging? Ah, and I'm actually enjoying doing these player locks. Yeah, well, that was one thing I wanted to do with this restart. I'm using that for like minor league stuff. So like I'm gonna make sure I quick manage or I'll do player lock for certain games. But yeah, just trying to because taking what I'm sort of taking what you told me to heart about the whole if you want to put players developing based off of how they play, which obviously makes sense. So why not try to have some influence over how they play with player lock and things of that nature. You know what I mean? So who do I want to player lock with today? Let's go back to Hestingerderstad. Choose player lock. This is the normal screen like it. You all right? You sound kind of blasé. Oh, happy literally just waking up then. I hear that waking up is the best way to start the day. Oh no, it's raining in Virginia. That's horrible. You know what's wrong? Like always, you're probably right. After all, wasn't it you that told me you're almost never wrong? You know anybody that does work on emojis? Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. He charges way too much. Ugh. I want a mooing emoji for Colton Cowser. That would imply that I'm going to get deep enough in the franchise. You don't trade. Well, I can make him a hitting coach, and the hitters can still moo when they do well. Oh. I even gave Brian what I thought was a pretty good streaming idea. I told him it was something I would do if it wasn't so invested in my Orioles franchise. Essentially, I told him go into pick a player, go into franchise mode, and instead of playing with the team that player's on, just play as that player. Almost do a career sim within franchise mode. Something different, something I haven't really seen any other streamer doing. It's almost combining it's almost combining in some ways Road to the Show and franchise mode. Yeah, but you can't. But you can't take an established player into Road to the Show though. I just always thought the idea intrigued me because, like I said, I don't see anybody else doing it. Okay, the idea that most people thinking like you scares me.
Leading off the afternoon for Milwaukee, the designated hitter, Bryce Turan.
All right, let's get this show on the road. Let's see if I can actually win a series, bro. That would be a novel idea, wouldn't it? I hear that winning teams that want to make the playoffs actually have to win series. I know, right?
Ball one. Hey, he's in there. No. Ball.
Um, there's no way he was safe.
The catcher, William Contreras.
And the Brewers take an early 1-0 lead with that old get 'em over, get 'em in strategy.
The first baseman, number 12, Reese Hoskins.
Things any better with you if you get my drift? Hmm.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Hmm. Well, I was talking specifically about the situation you told me about the other day. Colin Ray. Here's Colin Ray's mix. He's got a 4-seam curveball, splitter, cutter, sinker. Comes in with, oddly enough, he comes in with 2 saves and a loss, no wins, and a 4.15 ERA. How does a starting pitcher have 2 saves?
No balls, 1 strike.
All right, say that one more time. Gunner. Well, all you can do is offer. You can't make somebody accept.
Ball. That's a ball. 1 ball, no strike. Ball. 1-0. No, inside.
1.
What do you got going on today?
Mountcastle.
Ball 1. Ball 2. 2-0's the count. Ha! 2 balls, 1 strike. Ball 3. Out.
Batting 6. The right
Oh, come on. Joey Wiemer.
Ball.
I think this. How do you think Paul Skeens is going to do today?
Hard.
He got a chance to win the series against the Rays.
Ball 2. 2-2. Ball, no. Runner. Ball 2.
Got him. You do not run on Adley Rutschman. Actually, in all honesty, his throwing has been kind of lackluster this year.
Ball. 1 ball, no strike. No, that's a ball.
We supposedly have another catching prospect in the minors that people are saying in the next 2 years may end up being another number 1 prospect in baseball. Supposedly he throws in the 90s down to second base. I don't know if I'd want to be the shortstop or the second baseman having to catch that. Although I'm sure they've caught line drives as fast, if not faster than that.
0-1. Ball.
Oh yeah, did you see he put a ball into the Allegheny yesterday? Also, the other 5 or the other 3 were visiting players. Yeah, that's why. Because I know they said there's been 5 players do it all time.
Ball.
Boy, I would have never guessed that name. That's what I love about sports, and especially baseball. Like, the most obscure person can hold the most unique record or do the most unique thing. I mean, I call it a record, but you know what I'm saying.
Batting eighth, the third baseman,
I'm pretty sure, and I'd have to look it up. I'm pretty sure the last player to have a 4 home run game was a guy by the name of Hard Hitting Mark Whiten, a name from the '90s that if you were into the baseball in the '90s, you knew the name. But I mean, he's not a household name. You know what I mean? And as much as I hate to admit it, and if Brian was in the chat, he'd quickly look it up and tell me if I was right or wrong. But I think he was with the Indians when he did it.
1 ball, 1 strike. Ah! Ball.
The other, go ahead.
Full count.
The only player I knew of that I thought Bo Jackson did it, but I know that wouldn't have been it because he played in the American League. Who was it? Oh,
Take your base. Ball 4.
got you. But the other quote unquote, I don't like calling it a record, but accomplishment that I don't think will ever be matched is everybody knows about Johnny Vandermeer, back-to-back no-hitters. I don't ever see a starter doing that again. There was a pitcher, I think it was either last year or the year before,
That's an infield
that
fly. Batter is out.
actually it was, as much as I hate to admit it, it was last year. That's right, it was last year. Domingo Herman.
the batter,
He had his no-hitter for the Yankees, and then in his next start, he no-hit the next club he faced for, I think, 5 or 6 innings.
1-0.
That's the closest anybody's ever come to matching back-to-back no-hitters. And he's in the Pirates organization now. Which I wonder, do they have any intentions of ever using him? I mean, he's a horrible human being, but he's a decent pitcher when he's...
1-2. Ball. No.
he's up there with Trevor Bauer. For me, I understand Trevor Bauer's proven innocent, but like I said to you, where there's smoke, there's fire. He still had himself in a situation he shouldn't have been in. I was talking about Trevor Bauer. Orioles take a 2-1 lead. I said I understand he was not charged with anything. I said he was still in a situation he shouldn't have been in.
1-2.
Yeah, fair enough.
Two.
Come on, Adley, give me some cushion.
Full count.
Oh, William, I wanted to show you something. Because I finally made partner on YouTube, so I have personal emojis now that I think you'd like. I got some ideas for some other ones, but I got to find somebody that can possibly make them because I don't have an artistic bone in my body. That's a baby Yoda.
Leading off for the Brewers, the center fielder, Chris Roller.
Ball. 1 ball. No strike. He's out.
The batter, number 2, designated hitter.
Are we going to at least win one of these games against the Astros?
Outside.
Oh, by the way, William, go back and watch my last game against Milwaukee. It was probably one of the best games and funnest games I ever played in MLB The Show.
1-1. Ball. 2-1.
Oh, come on. Let's see that. What jersey? I didn't see the part where it said what jersey you got.
Ball 3.
Gunnar Henderson. See,
Full count.
I'm in the minority, but I hate the City Connect jerseys.
Ball 4.
And I can't bring myself to buy anything Corbin Burns related until I know he's signed with the team for more than just this year.
He's out. Yeah, you're out.
See,
No ball.
here's the thing. I'm not a big jersey person because there's no loyalty. The Roberto Clemente's, Cal Ripkins, Tony Gwynn's, they don't exist anymore. And as soon as I get emotionally invested in a guy enough to buy a jersey, they'll end up not with the team.
1 ball. 2 strikes. Ahoy! 3.
From your lips to God's ears, William, because I don't believe
The first baseman, number 6,
I'd be shocked.
Ryan Mountcastle.
I hope you're right, but I would not be shocked if Gunnar ends up somewhere else. I hope I'm wrong. Ever since what happened with Messina, I can't get invested in. I'm invested in the front of the uniform, not the back. Let's put it that way. I've owned 2 jerseys in my life: a Cal Ripken jersey and a, oddly enough, even though I don't care that much about football, at one point I did. I owned a Jonathan Ogden jersey. I have reasons for giving up, for not really caring about football. After the Ravens didn't even offer Trent Dilfer a contract after the man won a Super Bowl for us, I was like, nope. I know Gunner's a good player, but that's why an argument can be made right now outside of Shohei Ohtani. Gunnar Henderson's the best player in baseball. And I stupidly traded him in fantasy last year and traded him to a guy that kept him as his keeper.
Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And actually, I could argue that right now Gunnar is is a better player baseball wise than Shohei, because Shohei only hits right now.
Ball.
No, he plays DH.
Ball.
I don't remember the last time. When was the last time Shohei Ohtani played the outfield? It's been what, 2 or 3 years? If you are new here and enjoy watching, please consider joining the Bird's Nest, subscribing to the channel, and liking the video. People hype up the Dodgers, rightfully so. I mean, they have star power all over their lineup. I love Ryan Mountcastle, but if you told me Ryan Mountcastle or Freddie Freeman, I'm taking Freddie Freeman every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Ball 2. 2 balls.
I love Jordan Westburg. If you told me Jordan Westburg or Mookie Betts at second base, I'm taking Mookie every time. I would take Mookie over any member of our outfield and anybody not named Gunnar Henderson in our infield. I'm not talking about them as a team. I'm talking about their individual players. Because here's the thing. They're experiencing injuries just like we are. But they're still I would take Tyler Glass now and throw him in against anybody in our rotation over other than Corbin Burns. If you told me for this year, Grayson Rodriguez or Tyler Glass now, give me Tyler Glass now, as long as he's healthy. Which a pitcher's health is up in the air from start to start anyway. I love those Texas leaguers. Not really. I think the reason you can't find them in stores anymore, number one, because not there's more shopping online. Number two, I think MLB wants you going to their website to get jerseys because you can find any jersey you want on MLB's website. Why on earth would you want a Craig Kimbrell jersey? If I bought a Craig Kimbrell jersey, it would just be so I could burn it. That man has cost us more games.
Now batting, the shortstop, Henderson.
Ball, no.
He's a shell of himself.
Ball 2.
And you and I both know he's only here because Felix is hurt. If Felix Bautista wasn't hurt, it's not like we go to Craig Kimbrell and say, "Hey, we want you to be our setup guy." But there you go, my buddy Frog, who's in Discord chat, and
No strike.
just said it. If Felix Bautista is healthy, we don't sign Craig Kimbrell. We sign Aroldis Chapman as our lefty setup guy. That's a more likely scenario than Kimbrell. And by the way, William, if you're on Discord, if you'd like to come in the voice chat, feel free. If you're a member of my Discord.
That's the ball. 2 balls.
Well,
Strike.
he was. Is he still going to be when he comes back? Who knows? We don't even know for sure how old the guy is. Because I heard there were some questions. I heard a few weeks back that there's some question about he may be 2 or 3 years older than he actually, which is not that uncommon. Oh, I thought you were going to say if you're trying to date somebody. Ask Wander Franco how much that matters. Wander Franco found out the hard way that age does matter because he lost his career.
Full count.
I hope you're right.
Ball 4. Take your base. No. 1 ball. No strike. Ball.
And respectfully, as much as I like Felix Bautista, GOAT, he is not. I would give the title of GOAT as far as closers to either Mariano Rivera or Trevor Hoffman. Okay, if you want to talk about current closers, you know what? Fine. Current closers. I can't give it to Batista because he's hurt. If it was current closers,
Ball. 2-0 to count.
that's tough because I don't know that there is a truly elite closer in baseball right now. Okay. Current closers, who's the best in baseball? Emmanuel Clase or David Bednar.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Ryan O'Hearn.
Everybody has rough stretches.
Now batting, right fielder, Anthony Santander.
Again, I don't know if I'd use the term GOAT for Jim Palmer because there are a lot of other good pitchers. I think he is extremely underrated in the era that he pitched in because of all the other good pitchers that pitched then. GOAT, say number one, for the record, I hate the term GOAT. But saying somebody is the greatest of all time is very subjective because it depends on what the criteria is. Like, I don't talk basketball a lot, but I will tell you right now, the greatest basketball player of all time to me is not LeBron James, it's not Michael Jordan, it's Magic Johnson. The guy was a plus defender at guarding all five positions, could play all five positions, best passer, best at stealing the ball. Okay, he was an average shooter, but he did the one thing you want a teammate to do. He made everybody on his team better. And for all the LeBron James, Michael Jordan comparisons, I think LeBron James compares more to Magic Johnson than he does Michael Jordan. So to say somebody is the greatest of all time is very very subjective. You know, I will always say Babe Ruth is probably the greatest hitter of all time because he still holds a lot of pitching records. And okay, you want to say Ohtani is doing the same things Ruth was doing back then. Ruth was also hitting them out of much larger ballparks. Feel free to chime in here, Frog. I mean, I don't want you to make I don't want to make you feel like I'm ignoring you. I'm just carrying on a conversation with. Yeah.
No, that's a ball. Rio.
If you're still in here, William, one conversation I had with my buddy Frog, who's in Discord chat with me, is the greatest pirate all time Roberto Clemente or is it Barry Bonds? Conventional wisdom says it's what's that?
That's a strike.
There you go. Or is it Honus Wagner?
No, outside.
Depending on your perspective, any one of those three answers is right. I don't think. That's the thing. When it comes to sports debates,
3-1.
there is no wrong answer. Especially if one can present a compelling argument for their line of thinking.
Ball 4. Take your base.
Or there's not. Okay, fine. My buddy Frog's saying there's definitely. You're right. Okay, if I tried to say Ryan Flaherty is the best Oriole of all time, yes, that's a wrong answer.
One ball, one strike. 2-1.
Okay, fine. Unless you're someone that just gives delusional answers to questions, and I just gave up 3-run homer. That's what I love about my buddy Frog. He can. I think you guys get what I was. Within reason, there is no wrong answer if you're having a legitimate debate.
Outside.
And the Orioles going to try to come from behind again.
Hard, 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Johnny Bench,
Up next for Milwaukee.
arguably just as good a defensive player as JustinDezzz, and certainly better offensively. I would give Yachty a slight edge defensively, but I would give Johnny Bench a significant edge offensively. From a clutch standpoint, I might give it a push, but from just an overall hitter standpoint, Yadier Molina doesn't even compare to Johnny Bench.
Now pitching for Milwaukee, number 59, Elvis Pagan.
Ball 1. 1 ball, no strike. Yep.
I'm not saying, please understand, I'm not saying that Yachty wasn't clutch, but I don't know anybody in their right mind. If you asked them, if you had,
No.
if you needed somebody up at bat offensively, and you had the choice between Johnny Bench or Yadier Molina, I don't know anybody that's taking Molina over Bench. And if you do, I'd be willing to listen to their argument.
That's a ball. 1-0.
Come on.
No, that's a ball. Ball.
And I'd be willing to bet you that Molina probably struck out less. Actually, no. In the era they played in, he probably didn't strike out less. Oh.
Pinch hitting for the Orioles, number 11, Jordan Westburg.
God bless America. Here's the thing about, like, I don't disrespect the WAR stat, but to me, isn't WAR more of an indication that your team that you were playing on didn't have good backups? Because if it's wins above replacement, so in theory, it's saying you help your team more than the guy that they would replace you with in the lineup. So if you had, yeah, but what I'm saying is, so, and I realize with the finances of baseball, what I'm about to say is not all that practical. But if you're a team that say has, you have, I don't know, McCutchen as a backup, um, and your starter is Mike Trout and he's healthy. In theory, the wins above replacement shouldn't, because McCutchen's a productive. You know what I mean? If you have, my point is, if you have a productive, if you have a good bench, that wins above replacement shouldn't be that drastic, because you should still be able to plug a guy in from the bench and they still produce.
Ball one. 2-0. Got him. Got him. That's an out.
Now pitching for Milwaukee, number 45, Abner Uribe. Now
Exactly.
right fielder, Anthony Santander.
1-0.
The only I, I can sort of see wins above replacement mattering more for pitchers, because in theory, your 4 or 5 best starters should be the ones in your rotation, and if you got to replace them, in theory, you're replacing them with people that are in the minor leagues, and your 5 best starters are in the big league, should be better than your 5 best starters. Yeah.
Up next for the Orioles, the first baseman, Ryan
Probably not.
Mountcastle.
Yeah.
Ball.
Well, Skeens especially.
Yep.
I could maybe make a case if Jones hits the skids and has a bad stretch, maybe he might end up back down. Skeens is never going back down to minors. Never. I'm saying, like, all I'm saying is
2-2.
Jones is much more likely to see the minors again than Skeens is. I don't think it'll happen for either one of them, but
Out.
Number 58. Seal now.
1-0.
Correct.
I don't think so, just because of what I just said. Theoret and for the record, this is not about the Pirates. This is I can say this about who are you calling up to take his spot? Okay, even if Jones or Skeens has a bad stretch, who are you really calling up from the minors that could theoretically be better than either one of them? Nope, nope. I mean, I don't know the Pirates.
2-2. Full count.
Well, that's a very 10 runs a game is a very extreme example. I mean,
That's an out. Ball.
well, yeah. I mean, but you're talking about the most extreme
Go. Outside.
circumstance.
Ball 3. Hit. That's foul.
No.
Hey, high. 3.
We got pitchers hitting people now intentionally.
Now pitching for the Brewers.
Hit.
Number 29.
No ball.
Trevor
1 strike.
McGill.
Ball.
I downloaded that popular app making thumbnails, Canva, because there's supposedly a lot more features with it. But man, trying to learn how to use it, Canva,
High. 3.
the one that's really popular amongst streamers.
Number 3. Jorge Mateo.
Hit.
But like I was playing with it last night. I was having such a hard time just getting the font that I was trying to put on the thumbnail to decrease.
High. 1-2. Two. Full count. Ball 4. Take your base. High. No ball. 1 strike.
There you go, Jorge.
High. 2. One, 2. Ball 2.
Base hit. Yes, there we go. It's 5-4 Brewers.
Shortstop, Gunner Henderson.
Come on, Gunner.
Ha! 0-1. Two. Ahoy!
Ooh.
Ha! No ball. One strike. Ha!
Got him.
Ball.
So what you playing? I mean, you're not playing WoW?
Ball. Ha!
Now pitching for the Orioles, number 40.
1-0. Push. Right there. See that?
I mean,
Now pitching for Milwaukee, number 55. Toby Miller.
hello, I've been trying to... I need a first baseman. I told you to look at my team about Bohm, but send me an offer involving a first baseman.
The batter, the designated hitter.
I would happily give you Jones for either one of them. Well, when you have a surplus of one position, you don't necessarily... What are you going to trade one first baseman for another? That's the whole point of you wanting to get rid of a first baseman to begin with.
Pinch hitting for the Orioles, number
It doesn't necessarily have to be a first baseman for a pitcher, but you don't trade a first baseman, in your case especially, because you have a surplus. You don't necessarily trade for the same position you already have a surplus of. Tied it up. Let's go. I'm an Orioles fan. I've told you this before. I would have done Cutcase. There are other players that would have done just as good, if not better, for you. And you can't say I've said the same thing about Cedric Mullins. Now, so far, in the last 10 days or so, Cedric Mullins has proven me wrong.
Ball down.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of what and I just said it a few seconds ago. There is no exact science to fantasy baseball. Orioles win in walk-off fashion. They walked it off. But then, but Bobby Witt's the kind of guy you don't take out of a lineup because he can turn that around in one game. He could he could very easily go out today and hit 2 home runs and have 2 steals and so I'm not saying and understand just because I'm in need of a first baseman and I've been trying to encourage you to trade from your surplus. I'm not saying give either guy away. I'm just saying like you keep pointing out I'm trying to offer you a pitcher for well yeah, I'm not going to offer you number one if I don't if I had a first baseman to offer, I wouldn't be trying to okay, what would you say your need is?
First for the victorious Orioles. 6 runs on 14 hits. No errors.
Well, let me ask you this: who's your third baseman? But he could very easily slide to utility. Yeah, and let's face it, saying one guy's the first baseman versus one guy is the utility is it's basically a wash. All right, I will be back later today for some more Orioles baseball. Hope you enjoyed this walk off. Join the bird nest, subscribe to the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channels down in the description. That'll be in the description below momentarily. Have a great rest of your morning.